Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Embrace.
Hey, friends.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. For those of you who joined us last week, welcome back. And for those of you who are joining us for the first time, we have an awesome evening for you tonight. I'm Lisa. I'm part of the Embrace team. My pronouns are they, them. Alice, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Alice. I'm the communications director. If you sent an email or if you talked to somebody on Facebook, it was probably with me. I use she, her pronouns. And back to you, Lise.
Excellent. Thank you. All right. So we just wanted to give a quick reminder. We have old school WildFire merch as well as some new Embrace stuff, as well as dog tags. So all of these are what is helping to fund this event because, of course, running through a platform and everything does cost money. So please go down and check. It should be right here someplace, our website, where you can find all that stuff. There's some super fun stuff. I just updated the shop. You can get like wildfire pillows and stuff now. So I'm actually pretty excited about filling my house with that. So embraceretreat.org, you'll be able to find all of that. Huge thank you to last week's workshop instructors. We had Nick Anastasia, who taught teaching movement arts virtually, and to Suma Goodwin, who taught movement, freedom, and healing proper body mechanics last weekend. It was so beautiful. You can go and find those. You can certainly find it on Facebook. You can also find it on our YouTube channel, WildFire Retreat. And we'll be putting some of those links over on Facebook and Twitch and everything like that. Alice?
I just want to say I got so much out of both of those workshops last week. And in fact, it turns out you can use your own props for a lot of the stuff that Tasuma was talking about, because all week I've been doing the shoulder loosening things that they taught us, and I just love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
it was so good.
A very important thing that I want to make sure everybody who is watching knows about, if you missed it last week, if you haven't seen it on our Facebook page, we are doing Cyber Beaver Awards. One of the things that we traditionally do on site at WildFire is at the end of the weekend, we honor people who have gone above and beyond embodying the mission and the spirit of WildFire by giving them a little stuffed beaver and bringing them to the front of the crowd and thanking them. We wanted to find a way to do something similar here in this space. So Cyber Beaver Awards are to give thanks to and notice people in our lives who have gone above and beyond in the last couple of months to embody, my brain just went blank for a moment there, to embody community and cooperation and helpfulness and caring for each other. And there have been no shortage of opportunities to do so recently. If you have somebody in your life, if somebody you love has been above and beyond and really just an absolute shining star, please nominate them in our Beaver Awards form. That can be found on both our website, embraceretreat.org, and in the Facebook event, Facebook group, and Facebook pages for WildFire Retreat and Embrace. Lastly, I just want to remind people that this is a free event. However, we are encouraging that you tip your artists. The people here are giving their own time, energy, creativity, magic, all of that, so that we can have this wonderful, really cool event together. If you learned something from a teacher, if you enjoyed a performance, there are links at the bottom of everyone's page here, and you can find them in our various streams as well. Go to one of those links, send a couple of dollars, even if it's just enough to like get a coffee. Let them know that you saw them, you appreciate them. It'll mean a lot to anybody who gets one of these. I think that's about it for our welcome here. I think we really should probably get on to our first workshop. You want to tell them a little bit about that?
Sure. So our first workshop today is going to be somebody who many of you probably know and love. We have Melissa Bornman, also known as Bubbles McGee, who is going to be giving us an intro to bubbling. So, Kix, whenever we're ready there, we can bring Melissa on.
Hi.
Hi, we're live again. We have a couple of technical difficulties with Melissa, so we apologize. Please just give us a couple of seconds. But if you would like to, please go ahead and comment down in wherever you are, if you're in Twitch or YouTube or Facebook. If you have any questions about bubbling already somehow, please go ahead and comment there. We're going to be collecting those. Give us just a minute. We're going to work on Melissa's sound. Sorry, folks.
And this will give you an extra moment to make sure you have all of the necessary materials. If you are following along with Melissa's class today, you might have seen the materials list that was posted on Facebook. I will just share it again here really quick in case you haven't read the post. What Melissa suggested for basic bubbling solution is liquid dish soap. She prefers Dawn Platinum, hot water, granulated sugar, some measuring cups, a bucket or bowl to mix it in, cotton string, chopsticks, and a towel. So you have a moment if you need to run around your house and gather anything up if you don't already have it in place. We're just going to cut to a screen and then bring bring Melissa back as soon as she's ready.
Okay, could you put on the interstitial thingy that we have with the cool music, please?
looks like we're working. That's Peter's head. Hi, everybody. I'm Melissa Bornman, Bubbles McGee. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Sounds like we got everything going, so hooray. Yay! Welcome to Bubbles with me. So for those of you who don't know me, I've been around WildFire for about 9 years in a variety of different capacities. For people who are tuning in who don't know what WildFire is, it's an awesome fire retreat that I go to and participate in with all sorts of different arts, flow arts. And I have introduced Bubbles to the community last year. And I'm so excited to be able to share tonight just some basic fun things for you to do at home with Bubbles. So if you were on the Facebook page, you might have seen a list of things that you could have gathered, which I have in front of me, which I think I might have to push down my screen. Hold on, so you can see a little better. Hey, there you go. And hopefully I won't get blocked off. Well, that's close enough. Okay, so these are all the things that you're going to need to make bubble juice. So we're going to just do a basic bubble juice. There's a whole world of bubbles out there in the universe that you can learn about. At the end of this, we're going to be listing some links that you can go check out for learning even more about bubbles. There's a science to this. It's all science related as far as how you can make juice with different kind of polymers. Today we're going to keep it simple. We're going to use stuff from around your house. So if you gathered, great. If you haven't, I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know. So the first thing you're going to need is a liquid detergent. Dawn is the best. It gives you the best bubbles. If you have platinum, great. If you really want to go all out, then you can get the restaurant kind. It's lower suds. It's way better. But you'll be fine with this. So you're going to get your Dawn. If you have any other kind of liquid detergent, that's totally fine too. You're going to get granulated sugar. And what the sugar does is it helps the longevity and the elasticity of the bubbles, of the life of the bubbles, so lasting longer. So soap and water, sure, you can make bubbles. If you want bubbles that are going to be lasting longer, you're going to need to add some other stuff to it. For this, we're just going to make it pretty simple and do sugar. You're also going to need a measuring cup. You're also going to need water. And you're going to need a bowl to mix it in. So first thing what we want to do is we're going to get half a cup of granulated sugar. Not an exact science in this case, so I'll just throw it in there, you're good to go. Next thing you're going to do is grab your measuring cup, and you're going to do 4 cups of water. This whole measuring cup is 4. So we just had a pipe burst outside, which is really helpful for doing this. So I had to get some bubbles here. So we got some water here, got about 4 cups.
Don't lose that. There's no more.
All the water in the world. And we're going to mix that in with our sugar. And voila. So now you want to take a whisk, and you're going to whisk that together because you want to make sure that that sugar dissolves. Okay? Get that nice and mixed in. When you have time to do this on your own, you're going to want to let this settle a little bit and sit. The longer that juice sits, the better your bubbles are going to be. But for our intents and purposes, we're going to play with it tonight. So now you're going to take your half cup again and take a half cup of Dawn. And I'm a lefty, which is why it's backwards. You're going to put it in here. And then you're going to take that and you're going to put it in there. Yay! Okay. So try and get out as much as you can. Whisk it together. You can kind of get all the bubble juice out of here. And you're just going to whisk it. You want to make sure that the sugar does dissolve. You want to make sure that everything gets mixed really well. And that is a basic bubble recipe. Now, as I mentioned, there is a website out there. It's called Soap Bubble Wiki. You can go search it. There's all sorts of different kind of recipes. And if you're in the bubble universe, there's all sorts of yeses and nos on what's the best kind of juice to do or not. Like I said, we're just doing this for you at home, making it easy for you and the kids to play with tonight, or you and yourself to play with tonight. It's totally fine. But that's that. So this is our basic juice. So now, what can you do with juice? Well, of course, you can make bubbles. So instead of using wands to start off with, we're going to use our hands. I tend to like to use a little bit of these what do you call these, sweatbands, right? So then I don't get it all over myself. But the fun part about bubbles is about making the mess, right? So what I want you to do is I'm going to take your hands, you're going to take your hands, and you're going to put them in the bubble juice. Da, 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 da. Now, if you're like me, you're going to feel that some of that sugar is still in the bottom of it. So kind of mix it in there. It's all good. Now, there are a couple different ways that you can make bubbles with your hands. The easiest way is by making the OK sign. Whoa! I just did that. That was amazing. Okay, we're going to do that again. Okay. I'd crack me up. Whoa! So cool and so messy. So yeah, another way that's really easy is you can kind of make a triangle. Now, obviously, the key is you want to make sure that there's film in there. So put your hands in. Make sure that you keep it connected, because of course, in order for a bubble to be created, you need to have a surface, and all surfaces need to be touching. Whoops, that didn't work. The best part about it is you fail and you do it again, just like any other problem. Oh, no, I really can do this. You saw it already, so I know you can do this. Cool! Yay, more bubbles! Okay, so that's how you can kind of blow bubbles with your hands. The other way I want to show you is how to make your own wand. So what you want to do is you want to grab, hopefully you have chopsticks and a string. So we're going to do a small one so you can play at home. But the basics of wand building are as follows. You're going to need some sort of string. I, in this case, ripped up a t-shirt and used a string. You'd want to use cotton. Cotton is an important process. So as you can see, this string or this t-shirt, I cut about maybe an inch, half an inch worth of string of t-shirt. And then, like I said, I just cut off the bottom and it became one big piece. You can also use other kind of cotton string. This is yarn. This is specifically a cotton yarn. This is a little thinner, but this is good for making nets or something like that. But it's definitely something that you can use as well. I'm going to make it with the t-shirt string though. So I already have it in a loop. Actually, you probably don't. So we're going to do it this way. So we're going to cut the string. Wow. Ooh. How long is the string supposed to be? I don't know. How long do you want your bubbles to be? How big you want your wands to be? So tie it in a knot. Probably going to be easier. And voila. Now, you could very easily just dunk this in and make a wand. I'm going to do it. This might be too big. But we're going to try it anyway. I'm going to use this one. So all I did is dip it in. Cool. Love it when it works. Ta-da. You can also put it on the chopsticks, and that's what we're going to do with the purple string. So grab your chopsticks. Now, the key you'll see when I had made this wand is that the inside string is shorter than the outside string. So you want it to be about half as long as the outside string. So this is what the finished product is going to look like, except ours is going to be purple. So take your string, really easy. You're going to take your chopstick, and you're going to wrap the string around the chopstick and basically just pull it through. So you kind of, what do you call this, Peter? What kind of knot is that?
A Boy Scout knot.
There you go, a Boy Scout knot. Whatever, we're winging this. Okay, so you're now going to take your string and go about halfway. In my case, it happens to be where I made my knot. So there-ish. And you're going to take your other chopstick and wrap it through. So I'm grabbing the chopstick and the other part of the string through so it connects here. If I did that right, maybe everything. There we go. So not quite halfway, but it's close enough. But you can see that there's a small loop and a large loop. For visualization, I'm going to use this one because it's probably easier for you guys to see because it's a little thicker. So That's the way that looks. Then you're going to take it and put it in your soap. Now, the important part to this is when you pick it up, don't pick it up like this, okay? Pick it up together because you want to make sure that you have soap in the middle. When you open it up, ooh, ah, and then you blow. Oh, aw. Womp womp. And then you blow. And then you use the better solution, which you guys don't have. So you can actually see how it should look. This solution has been sitting a couple days. So I actually made this solution a couple days ago. It is the sugar. Whoa, look at all those bubbles. Peter's in the background like, okay. So that's how you make some wands. Now, if you wanted to, you could then even create, wait, we're going to get better. I don't know how much time. I'm running out of time yet. Let's see. I'm going to take this. Come here, Peter. I need your hands. Come here. Hold this. Like that. And now I'm going to take a little piece of string. I'm going to turn to this my happy little assistant. Say hi to Peter. Hi, Peter. Okay. I'm going to take the string. We're going to take this piece and bring it up to the center. So now you'll have two holes. I got it. Let go. I got it. Ta-da! And then you can make smaller ones, and that's called a garland. So you can kind of do that as well. And then it makes smaller bubbles, like these. Now we should have two. Two. And so on down the line. Is that amazing? Amazing! There are things being written. I can't read what that says. Don't tell me. So,
Lisa Elkin says, "Gah!"
Lisa Elkin says, "Gah."
I think this thing is only showing me half of what I write.
That's okay. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. So let's try our purple one.
We need questions. That's what Lisa Elkin says.
Whoa, that was big. All right.
Oh, and Lisa's telling me that what I'm reading is just for the crew.
Well, oh well. So now I'm going to give you 10 seconds. Ready? I don't know if there's anybody playing along at home. I really hope that there is people playing along at home because otherwise I'd be kind of silly. But I want you to take 10 seconds. Ready? You're going to run around your house and find something that you think you can make bubbles with. Okay, ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I should do that in bubbles. Oh, wait. 6, 7. Oh, not going. 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, cool. So you should have run around and found something. I gathered a few things beforehand just so I had them on hand. So I found a colander. Ooh, this is kind of fun. This will give off a lot of little bubbles. So of course you want to think of things that you can make bubbles with and make a whole lot of bubbles with at any given time. Whee! I think you can see bubbles. I'm not 100% sure. Can you see bubbles, Peter? He's not answering.
Yeah, I can barely see them.
You can also take a small strainer. Small strainer. And I think, nope, that's not gonna work. Small, tiny little bubbles happened. That's not working either. Okay, another thing you can try is a straw. And it works, I promise. Whoa. Oh. Ready? Oh. You can also make something. This is a bubble wand that I found. I put a little piece of fabric around it because otherwise the bubbles weren't staying. And then you could do cool tricks like this, which is what I was doing when we started. Pull your own bubble. Whoa! And then you can blow bubbles into the bubble. Oops. Yay! There's so so many possibilities of things that you can do with bubbles. I have built a tiny business out of this. This is a great thing to make with kids. If you're doing workshops, if you're a flow artist and you're looking for other things to add to your act, I definitely recommend bubbles. There is definitely a science to it. And it's definitely in demand. If nothing else, it brings people joy. And truly, what else do you want in the world, right? So, I don't know, Peter, where did I go? Come here. Ask Lisa how many people, how much longer do I have? Because have any questions?
No, I haven't seen any questions.
Is there anybody out there doing this? Am I alone? Ooh.
I see a few people were watching, a few people were viewing.
Hello, Melissa.
Melissa.
This
There you
is your
go.
buddy Lisa on audio. This has been lovely. We are really enjoying the wonderful joy on your face and your ridiculous bubbles. Thank you. And we do have, so there's a few comments. We have a "You're amazing," and we have an "Ooh" that I thought you should know about. And we have 3 questions for you. So as we're going here, folks on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, please ask any questions that you have, and I'll take a look at them as Melissa is answering, and I'll type these in. So first question, Melissa, can you use corn syrup as a replacement for sugar?
Sure. So you can use a lot of things as a replacement for sugar. Corn syrup is definitely one of them. You would want to play with the measurements as far as how much to how much. So I don't know how much corn syrup versus granulated sugar you would use. A lot of making bubble juice, and any bubbler will tell you this, is trying to find a solution that works the best for you. So when I joined the bubble community, I was very much a novice and I had no idea what I was doing. So I would ask people and they'd be like, I don't really want to share because it's different for everyone. And I was all like, come on, man, share your stuff with me. But then I started actually learning the science of it, and I was like, oh, I can understand that every person likes a different way. So I use a mixture, which is what this bowl is, which doesn't look any different than anything else, except this one actually has something called guar gum, which is a food additive that helps thicken. It's used a lot in gravies, and baking powder. And then this is set for about 3 days. So the longer, like I said earlier, the longer you're able to let the juice sit, the better bubble you're going to get. Optimum time frame is about 3-ish, 4-ish days. And then depending on what you're using, it may degrade. But I use bubble juice 2 or 3 weeks at a time.
Awesome.
All right, what's next?
Thank you so much for that. All right, so next question. Does it matter what type of string you're using?
What type of what?
String.
Cotton. You always want to use cotton. You can use a cotton blend. I don't recommend it. Usually a cotton is going to be your best, depending on what kind of wand that you're making. So the bigger the wand, where did my wand go? They're going across piece and the long piece. The top piece might need to be a little thicker than the bottom piece if you're making humongous bubbles, because all the juice will drip down from that top piece to the bottom holes, and that way you can get a better wand that way. But like anything else, like any other prop, you're going to find what works for you best. This is the guar gum is a really good generic base to be able to use because it has a longevity of life. It's really forgiving. Something to know about juice and bubbles, weather affects it. So humidity is good. Humidity, bubbles, humid. Dry is very good, and cloudy. So those are your three ideal situations for having bubbles outside. You want it to be humid, you want it to be dry, and you want it to be cloudy. If it's anything of those 3, you're good to go. If it's dusty and dry, then your bubbles aren't going to last very long. So humidity and air quality and weather have a lot to do with the elasticity and longevity of the bubbles.
Excellent. Okay, so we have All right, we got a couple of more questions. So if you want to make huge bubbles out in the yard, would you alter the recipe that you just gave us?
Absolutely. This is just for playing right now. The guar gum recipe would be a better one. I believe at the end of this, somewhere, somehow, there's going to be links. Yes, maybe Lisa posted about.
We can absolutely make that happen.
For the Soap Bubble Wiki. And the Soap Bubble Wiki is like the Bible of the bubbling universe. It's a really interesting community because you'll find sort of it's split between performers, people who do like, magic show, bubble magic, and old guys who love to do huge bubbles. I don't know why. It must be a science thing. But yeah, it's a great community that's out there, and the Soap Bubble Wiki website has everything you ever wanted to know about how to make juice and the different polymers that you can use and the different kind of liquid that you can use in different countries. They don't use Dawn because they don't have Dawn, so they use Fairy. Some people use guar gum. Some people use J-Lube, which is a lubricant. Some people use glycerin. So again, it goes back to anything else. You would want to play with it to find something that's, looking for what, making what it is you're looking for. This guar gum recipe is really good for big bubbles. But if I'm looking specifically to make humongous bubbles, I would probably use something with a glycerin mix in it.
Excellent. Okay. So we do have a couple more questions, but we're running a little bit late. So I wanted to ask one from Facebook real quick. What was used for the fistful of foam?
So this is something that I made myself. And you can make it, this is microfiber towel that I found a little thing that looks like a little trumpet that I covered, and then I just electrical taped it to it, dumped it in. So it's just microfiber. I actually doubled it over. So then you can make cool foam, and then you could do something like this. Come here.
Oh boy.
So if you have an audience, you can go, okay, you want some hair? Yay! Now down.
We love you, Peter.
He's a good man. So, yeah. So microfiber towel, I got it, I believe, at the Dollar Tree. It's like in the, how to clean your car microfiber. That's what I use.
Excellent. Thank you so much. All right. I apologize to the folks whose questions we cannot get to. There were a couple more, but Melissa, will you hop on our Facebook comments and and bring Peter with you and talk to people, and people can tell Peter that we love him and ask you some questions, and maybe you could answer a couple?
I would love to. 1,000%.
Wonderful. Okay. Thank you so much, Melissa. Thank you so much, Bubbles McGee.
Thank you, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Go home and play with more bubbles. Yay!
I was muted. I'm very sorry. If you can get to one of Melissa's classes without a big smile on your face, I don't know how. I enjoyed the heck out of that. I have all sorts of wonderful ideas going forward for making crazy amounts of bubble mayhem in my house. But in the meantime, before we cut to the next workshop, we're going to take a quick break and enjoy a video that was made for us by two longtime WildFire attendees. In just a moment.
Hey, buddy. You gotta stay a little far back there. Oh, I think you should stay this far away from me.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we stay this far back?
What? I don't think you understand. This is a global pandemic. You need to stay this far away from me.
I'll tell you what.
What's
How
that?
about this far?
Wow! Cope idiots.
That was wonderful. If you didn't catch their names, that was made for us by Brad Lowery and Eric Girardi. We will make sure that all of their information is in the comments. You can find it on our event page and our webpage. And on to our next workshop from here. I'm very excited that we have Danny Ray coming on in a moment to teach us a combination of intro and intermediate fans. I went and pulled mine up so I can practice along with her. And I'm sitting here realizing, as per Melissa's instructions, I think this is also something I could blow bubbles with. So I'm going to have all sorts of fun with this. On to Danny. I'm excited to learn more and have some fun with my fans with all of you.
All right. And it looks like my camera is all weird. All right. I'm sorry, guys. I tried to have it in landscape to keep it wide, but I guess that's not working. But that's okay. Nothing's gonna be like way out here. All right. So first thing we're gonna start with is something super easy and definitely one of my favorite things to do. Is my sound on? Is everything okay? Okay, fantastic. All right. So the first thing we're gonna start is with palm spin. So just okay. I'm live now. Sorry, my squishy's in my room. So you're gonna wanna. All you have to do is you have to hold your fans in this kind of clam grip. I don't know if you can see it, but your hand is just gonna hold it like this. So nice clam grip, and you're gonna flick it with either your thumb or your pinky to spin it in the direction you want it to go. Ah. You're always gonna practice on both hands. Ah, ah. And a little bit of wobbling is normal. It's gonna happen. It'll lessen as you go. So once you've got a hold of that, you can actually travel with them. My favorite is going down. Ready? 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 So much fun. And you can layer that on top of like an in spin. So you can so much fun. All right. You can go to the side, the other side. And my chair keeps getting in the face. Here. Let's see. What's next on the list? All right. So next up, we are going to learn windmills, which look like this. So all you have to do is you're going to want to keep your fans on the very tip of your fingers. One mistake I see with new spinners all across the board is they want to hold on to their fans because they're afraid to let go. There's very few props that tell you to just completely let go. So they end up doing this, and then it doesn't get as far back, or even if it does, it ends up hurting their wrist. So you want to keep that nice loose grip to keep that fluid motion. Mommy, yes, go. No, you don't have to ask. All right. So you're going to start with one, and you just want to make sure that it's landing behind your head. And when you do the second one, you want to make sure it's going in the same direction. So this one scooped from my left to the right. So you want to make sure this fan is doing the same thing. This way, when you combine them, it looks like that. And then from there, you can go into a 2-beat weave and then go back into reverse 2-beat weave. I'm still a little clumsy with that last movement. And then back to windmill. I forget what that entire trick is called. I don't remember if it's fountains or something else, but it's a thing. It says that. If anyone, by the way, has any questions, feel free to ask. There is a little bit of a delay, but I will be taking questions a little bit toward the end. So let's see, what else do we got here? All right. So we're going to move on to 3-beat weaves. So a 2-beat weave looks like this. Each side has 2 beats. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And because this is an intermediate, I didn't say it, but just in case someone doesn't know, a beat is anytime the wick of your fans drops to the bottom. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So a 3-beat weave looks like this. Ah, totally like that. Exactly like that. 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2. All right. So to drill that out, yep. Sorry, I just read the thing to slow down. All right. So I go from here.
Hey, Danny, this is Lisa. I'm sorry, I didn't want you to have to read your screen. So I had mentioned if you could slow down a little bit, not because of your class pacing, but just so we can see your hands. Because we're on virtual, it's a little bit hard. We start getting those traces. So if you slow it down a little bit, everybody can see your hand movements just a little better. Something we should have thought of earlier.
Awesome.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's totally okay. And I know it's so I can slow down, absolutely. The only house that should be okay. Yeah, okay. So if it does look a little bit wobbly, it is just because I slowed down. That happens sometimes with weaves. Speed is kind of your best friend, but we're gonna slow down a little bit so that you can see it on camera. So the practice you're gonna do is we're gonna start with our right hand, just like that. Yeah, that's how you hold tech fans. Okay, I'm so sorry. Anyway, when your right fan is on your native side, which is also your right side, so right on the right, it's going to scoop up and it's going to make this slashy motion across you, and you're going to switch to thumb grip, just like that. And you're going to spin and then grip it, switch to your finger grip as it goes back across, and then scoop it again. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, baby. 1, 2, 3. And it's the same thing on your left fan. So when it's on your native side, which is on the same side, it's going to scoop up, come across, and then when it's on the opposite side, switch to your thumb. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then you can put it together. All right. Let me see if I can find something that doesn't involve too much like movement so that you don't miss anything. Oh, okay. So isolations with your wicks. So let's say this one right here. So isolations just means that you're going to isolate one spot on your fan. So when you do it like that, come around, and when you come up here, gotta kind of like switch. Oh, how did I do this before? I've done it a few times. Aha, aha, you switch your hand. That's what you do. Aha. And it's going to go a little out of place sometimes. That's normal. Whoa. You can isolate the center wick. And again, always practice on both hands. All right. That. Sorry, noises. All right. What else was there? You can also isolate the wicks together to kind of meet as you move them. So if we start in this diagonal corner with your fans in this W relation, you can have each wick meet each other to go up here. And then you can go back down and you can kind of scoop it to the other side and do it that way. So back to where you started, scoop up, no, isolate up, scoop over, and then isolate down the other way. And you've just done an elliptical or an hourglass kind of shape, that kind of thing. All right. So there's that. And all right. All right, one more trick, and then I'm going to see if we have any questions, and then if we don't, then I will do another one. So one of my favorite tosses is starting like this in the, what is this called? Elliptical kind of shape. It's not an O, like they're overlapping. So you can see I'm grabbing both of my fans by this center bar as opposed to the rings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to toss the outer fan, and as I catch it, I'm going to drop this fan to my grip. So ready? Ha! Ha. And then you can go into your tricks. So once again, the fan that you're going to switch is going to be inward. And then the one that you're going to toss is going to be on the outside with the wicks pointing outward. So ha, 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 ha. So there's that. So do we have any questions? Wait, I know there's a little bit of a delay, and I completely forgot how to.
Fanny.
Hey.
Sorry about that. I like your waiting moves though. That totally works. We just walked fan spin. So our first question is, what kinds of fans do you have? Maybe if you want to let us know who made them, and even like take off the covers and show us a little about them, and maybe why you like them.
Yeah. So these are Forge Creation fans made by Becca Becker, and I think it's Jay Becker, is it? I think it's Jay. I don't remember the other guy's name. Sorry. It is Jay? Okay, awesome.
Yes.
So when you take these off, they are fire fans. I keep them on for classes because it's easier to see. But these have 5 wicks on them. And I have little bitty fingers, so the finger holes that are on these are 1.5 inches. So if you have larger fingers, you'd probably want to do the 2-inch holes, and then if you have smaller ones, I think they have 1-inch holes as well. Or if you use one finger, 1-inch holes will do. But that is those.
Excellent.
Thank you for getting Nikki on camera.
Yeah. All right. Excellent. So yeah, Forged Creations, everybody. I think most people who spin fans know them, and there is a reason for that. Okay, so do you have any tips for palm spins while you have your fans actually lit?
Honestly, the only suggestion I have is to make sure you do not light until you're absolutely comfortable with not accidentally catching it by the wick. I also wouldn't do it super close to your body. So like a lot of fans, they get really, really close. I just don't like the chance of people breathing in fire. And that's with any trick, really, because like that happened to a friend of mine, and I'm just like, eh. So yeah, I would just make sure it's away from your face. Sorry. I think really that's it. It's basically about the same if you do it on fire. There's no other principle that I can think of that will work
Sure,
for
sure.
that scent.
Okay. All right. And let me see. I believe our final question. Yes, I'm just checking our Facebooks here. So the final question is actually going to come from me. So I am a huge fan of, I didn't mean to do that, guys. I am so sorry. I'm a fan of fan tosses. And
So yeah, so I actually do have a YouTube channel where I do have a video of 5 hand switch tosses. So when you toss the fan, you're actually switching the hands. One of them includes this kind of like hip shelf trick. So you just put your fan on your leg and you're going to move it across. And in the meantime, you're going to toss the other fan over to your other hand and grab it here. So that's one of them.
That's excellent.
So
Thank
yeah,
you.
I love tosses too. They are my favorite.
We'll have to get together. We'll have to virtually. You mentioned that you have a YouTube channel. What's your YouTube channel? We're going to put that in the links, if you don't mind.
It is literally just my name. It is Danny Ray. You will find it. There's like 5 Danny Rays on YouTube, and the other 4 are even less popular than I am, which makes me feel a little better about myself. So there's that.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you so much, Danny. This has been really, really wonderful. And we do have a pretty good group of folks who are watching. So this has been excellent. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hi again. Thank you so much, Danny, for that. That was absolutely wonderful. I really mean it. I did sit here with my fans, practice along with you the whole time. If you look in the links of whichever stream you're following right now down in the comments, you'll be able to find links for all of the artists you've seen so far to places where you can send them tips, places where you can find out more about what they do. There's so much information in the comments. Right now, though, we are all done with workshops for today, and we are going to move on to the performance part of the evening. We have 2 amazing performers for you guys tonight. We have Ariana Rose, who is going to be doing a really cool aerial act for you, and Maurice with a really just like boggling juggling display. And in between, there's a special treat. It's the compilation challenge videos that many of you chipped in on and a lot of people worked on, and I'm so excited to see it. So as soon as we're ready, we're going to throw over to performances. Sit back, relax, enjoy, and I'll see you again afterwards.
Good evening, embrace, and welcome to tonight's performance showcase. First up on the stream, we have Ariana Rose. Ariana started her pole and aerial journey about 3 years ago and has been addicted to being in the air ever since. To get her fix, she teaches classes at Aerial Arts Fitness in Jewett City, Connecticut, and is taking advantage of whatever performance opportunities she can during these crazy times. Please welcome from her backyard, Ariana Rose on Aerial Sling.
All my friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Please don't make any sudden moves. You don't know the half of the abuse. All my friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Please don't make any sudden moves. You don't know the half of the abuse. Welcome to the room of people who have rooms of people that they loved one day docked away. Just because we check the guns at the door doesn't mean our brains will change from hand grenades. You love another psychopath sitting next to you. You love another murderer sitting next to you. You think I'd get it sitting next to you. But after all I've said, please don't forget. All my friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. commas have a certain smell. Yeah, trust issues not to mention. They say they can smell your intentions. You laughing on the freak show sitting next to you. You left some weird people sitting next to you. You think how did I get here sitting next to you? But after all I've said, please don't forget. All my friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Please don't make any sudden moves. You don't know the half of the abuse. Why'd you come? You knew you should have stayed. I tried to warn you just to stay away. And now they're outside ready to buzz. It looks like you might be one of us.
And that was Ariana Rose from her backyard on aerial sling. Thank you so much for that performance, Ariana. If you would like to tip, don't forget to check out her PayPal. And next up on the stream, we have Maurice from CircusDynamics.com down in Rhode Island. Maurice shared an epic ball juggling montage with us. He's here to spread happiness and joy and hopes this performance makes you smile.
How much can you do? You lift and push and struggle, but the foot's on the other shoe. Just grab a hold and juggle all those balls in the air. How hard can it be? So hard you're getting dizzy. Lift those balls in the air. Keep those balls in the air. How fast can you go? Looks like you might be in trouble. You just wanna let it flow. Try not to burst your bubble. Get those balls in the air. How hard can it be? So hard you're getting dizzy. Get those balls in the air. Keep those balls in the air.
And that was Maurice. Don't forget to check him out at circusdynamics.com. He also has a PayPal link that is on the screen. Check it out if you are so inclined. And now, lastly, we are going to be debuting the Spin All of the Things Challenge. Last week, we challenged you guys to come up with something that you wouldn't normally spin. Just go around, find anything, pick it up, and start spinning. And boy, did you guys deliver.
Spin all the things!
Here we will see Will's take on the backbend buzzsaw. You'll see Will demonstrating in-spin, same time plane bending with the tractor.
Think you're low on potassium? Try the new Banana Shiggy! It fishtails! It anti-spins! Impress your friends! Great for weddings, bar mitzvahs, and your cousin's bris! And it's edible!
Hi again. It's
Hello.
almost not fair to have to go live after that because I'm still just like smiling too much.
It is. That was definitely the first time I saw that. Thank you so much to everybody who sent in videos. That just made me so fucking happy.
Yeah, the best.
Okay.
That's
right.
that moment. That's that feeling of being surrounded by all of you on the deck doing like whatever ridiculous shenanigans we can come up with. That was it.
It really is. It really is. That's really what makes us us. And you're right. That did feel like just hanging out on the porch or walking into the dining hall right now, or walking across the field and just experiencing the utter wonderful nonsense of everybody that's a part of this community. So thank you so much. Okay. I'm supposed to focus now or something, right? Is that the idea? Okay, just a little bit, just a little bit. All right, thank you again to everybody. And I wanted to actually give a real quick explanation. So the stuff with Will and Sherwin, if you thought that lawn looked familiar and you're wondering why we have a lawn in these videos, that's JNW. So Sherwin and Will were over at JNW literally mowing the lawn yesterday and decided to send us in some videos of what they're doing. So some of us are at home right now, which is super awesome. All right. So we just wanted to give you all a reminder. Please double check in the comments of wherever it is that you are. Somewhere down there, you'll see the tip links and people's websites and information on like the bubble ingredients and everything if you need more information. And please, I'd really like to encourage you. We all know what the entertainment industry is looking like right now, and we all can't be together. People who, teachers who get paid to go to festivals and things like that. Obviously, there's some folks who are hurting right now. So if you could just do something super solid and awesome and throw your teachers from tonight a couple of bucks using the links that are below, it would be really appreciated. Like Alice said earlier, just buy them a cup of coffee, buy them dinner, buy them a couple of dinners. Every dollar helps, and it just shows them that we are paying attention and that we do care. As well, if you'd like to get yourself some merch or some dog tags, let me see, I got to get up above the little thingy here. So we have these awesome Embrace dog tags that are going to be sent out in the mail to y'all. So you can get that for a donation to the Spinning Arts Foundation of $15 or more. So for every $15 that you donate, you can get yourself a dog tag. You'll see instructions for that right on our website.
Plus, every dog tag order means more things going out into USPS and supporting the postal system right now.
Please support our postal system right now. Yeah, let's not have that conversation. And of course, the Beaver Awards, which you will also find at embraceretreat.org. Please go ahead and nominate a beaver. They will get an actual beaver, just like we do at WildFire. They can be folks who are in the spinning arts community or just adjacent to the spinning arts community. Just let us know who they are and how we can get a hold of them, and we will honor a bunch of those folks at this weekend's event taking place on Saturday and Sunday, which Alice can tell you more about.
Yes, so we still have our main event coming up, both Saturday and Sunday afternoon, starting at 1 p.m. We're going to have another similar event like this, but a little bit bigger. It's kind of the parent of these little child events. We're going to have a couple of workshops, some more really fun pre-made videos, a couple more performances, and just more time to spend together and do this magical, weird, wild thing that we do. And as Lisa was just mentioning, the Beaver Awards, we are going to be giving those out live at the end of Sunday's performance. It would be workshops, performance, and then in this segment on Sunday, as we're closing, we will be doing a Beaver Awards segment. So if you want to tune into that, make sure you nominate people so that we know who to thank and who to acknowledge and celebrate. And we will do that all together on Sunday afternoon. And then the last little thing is if you want to spend a little bit more time together, if you haven't gotten tired of our faces, if you want to see each other's faces, we dropped a link in a couple of these streams for the for this Facebook group room that we opened up. It's very much like any other chat. It's just an open room that you can pop into, click onto the video, and see all of us and hang out for a little bit. If you don't see a link down below, you can just go to the WildFire Home Away from Home Facebook group. It's right up at the top bar there. We'll ask you if you want to join the active room. On that note, that's about it. Stay tuned. We will be sharing all sorts of information on the Facebook pages in the next couple of days, and we'll see you again on Saturday at 1 p.m.
Excellent. Thank you so much, everybody, and a huge round of applause for all of our instructors and performers once again. And we hope to see you in the Facebook room. Bye, everybody.
Bye.